What is happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of First Blur Church. This is a special episode. We got Big Hec and Wade with us. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
How y'all doing, man?
Good.
Living lavish as usual.
Yeah, hanging in there.
Good. And of course, I always got my usual suspects with me: Maximum Spider, the real Maximum Spider, and also the real Mortal Kombat rating, Avatar rating. How y'all doing, man?
Man, we're here.
Good, man. So today's episode is obviously we're going to talk about WandaVision episode 5 because this is a crazy episode and we got so much to say. And as far as Big Hec and Wade coming show, you want to thank you guys so much. I know you guys are going to bring so much knowledge. But before we get started, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. So you follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Hero Harrison Talk. And same thing with my guests.
You want me to?
I'll let you hear.
Okay, so you can find us on Instagram at BigHecWadeAdventures. We're also on Instagram. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and then Facebook as well.
Cool, appreciate that. Yeah, so let's get this thing started with no hesitation. This show to me is great, but we haven't got too many people's opinions on it because we haven't had too many guests, and you guys are actually a big part of this too. So you're one of our, I think, our third guest on the show. But I wanted to ask you guys. I'm loving this show. I don't know. There's so much continuity and so much because I'm a big comic fan, as you guys know. We even talked and exchanged. But so I wanted to ask you guys, how are you liking WandaVision so far?
Good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm enjoying it. You know what? It was a slow burn for me. It was a slow burn, but as it got better every episode, and you had to keep tuning in, you had to keep staying with it. I'm personally loving WandaVision right now.
Yeah,
okay.
Honestly, I'm actually getting a lot of nostalgia vibes just from the first 2 episodes because they take place at certain times, in certain eras. So it's like you're getting like that Bewitched, Dick Van Dyke, Nick at Night feel for the first 2 episodes because that's exactly like around the time frame. So it was like, oh wow, like I remember this part. I remember when these type of shows were going on, and then you get to the next one, then you're like, oh wow, this is starting to feel like the Partridge Family, or this is starting to feel like the Brady Bunch. Like we're hitting the different eras, and you're starting to feel it like the whole way through. So yeah, the first 2 episodes were kind of a slow burn, but they were actually really enjoyable.
I agree with that. I think you guys made some really good points. I think that's how a lot of people felt, but everyone has a different opinion. But I know I kind of already asked, my usual suspects is this, but still, I still want to ask them again. So Trey, do you think WandaVision is picking up a little bit now?
I do definitely think it's picking up. And honestly, I liked it from the beginning. The first 2 episodes, I did think that, like you were saying, I liked the way that they switched at the time periods every episode, and it's just been really cool. So this last episode, we definitely got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. What about you, RJ? Do you think this show's picking up or what?
I mean, I agree with Belinda. It definitely started slow, but as we got to learn more and more over time, it definitely picked up, and this has been enjoyable since it started picking up for sure.
Yeah, I think that we like I said, we have a lot to talk about as it is, but it's just a lot of people were saying that kind of started off maybe too slow for their visuals, but it eventually picked up because Marvel does a good job of keeping things hidden, and then all of a sudden, boom! Because like when Marvel hits you with stuff, they hit you hard, and people are not ready. I don't think we were all ready for episode 4 and this last episode. My next question to y'all. So right now, there's a bunch of characters in this show. I know there's a lot going on, but as far as what you guys know and what you guys have seen, Big Hec and Wade, I'm gonna throw this question at you again. Who are your top 3 favorite characters?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first on this one. So I'm not even gonna go the typical Wanda and Vision thing because those are like gimme characters, especially the way they're interacting. I love Darcy. The moment Darcy comes back into like the whole scene, like we've missed her since Thor, and I just love her personality. So Darcy coming back in was like such a big deal for me. And I love the fact that when she gets settled, she's like, yeah, so I know you guys have like those little cup things that are disposable and they're bad for the environment, but can I get a cup of coffee? Everyone just ignores her. And then she's like, yeah, so about that coffee? No? Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, like, whatever. Just ignore me. Okay. It's not like I just didn't show you guys what's going on the other side, right? I can't get a cup of coffee for that? All right, whatever.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, for me, Agnes is low-key an MVP for me because every episode she's been on point, and I feel there's a bigger story for her. But she's been good comedic relief. Like she's played the I forget Lucy's best friend Ethel. Like she's played a great Ethel. She's played the great secondhand character. I feel there's something bigger for her, or she's a bigger Marvel character from what's being rumored and speculated. So I mean, I just can't wait to see what she does next.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that, like you said, Agnes, there's so much more story to her in the comics. A lot of people don't know. I do think that she plays a huge, important part. We'll get into our theories at the very end because I know we're all trying to hold it in right now. But yeah, I think that there's so many characters to talk about. But I know RJ and Trey have talked about this. But as far as this, we see the show progressing. RJ, what are some other characters that you're starting to like and dislike?
I don't say I'm starting to like or dislike anybody. You know, of course, Monica Rambeau's doing a great job of, you know, portraying her role. Don't really care for the kids, honestly, but, you know, they got on my nerves. But other than that, they just really got on my nerves. Can we keep them like annoying? But other than that, I pretty much, you know, I'm feeling Monica Rambeau's character and where she's going with her, you know, storyline.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And what about you, Trey? What you think about that? Do you think are there any characters that you like or dislike, or you're starting to appreciate or whatever?
I really like. I'm a agree. I also love Darcy. She's hilarious to me. I also really like Agent Woo. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty. I like him a lot. But I'll tell you who I'm really not liking is the director dude. He's getting on my nerves. Like you can just tell. Like I feel like Tyler Gayward. Yeah, there's something. He's up to something. He's got some sneaky looks in his eyes. I don't like him.
Sneaky. Yeah, that man is upfront about his ish. He's trash.
Yeah, we all see it. We all see that look, and we gonna talk about.
He ain't trying to hide it. We know who he voted for.
You're lying about that.
Something tells me he's one of those secret operatives who's been hiding in the shadows.
Yeah,
he looks like he's a Hail Hydra type of person.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely a male Karen. You can tell. You can just tell off the rip.
He's a Richard. He's a Richard.
Oh man. So to continue this, so I want to talk about one certain scene and kind of break this down a little bit more before I ask you guys some other questions. So the scene where Agnes comes in, you know, they're taking care of the kids and all that, and we see Vision walk in, obviously, and then he's talking to Wanda, and he messed up a line in the script, right? So he kind of like walks and isn't supposed to do a motion that he's supposed to do for the script that's going on in Wanda's. This is kind of weird because Agnes asked like, do you want me to do that again? And then Wanda goes, like, she looks at, you know, him and her, and she's like, what do you mean? Like, I'm looking at people, I'm like, what do you mean? What is going on? And then so what we see is that they pull Wanda gets pulled to the side by Vision, and he's kind of like, did you not just see that looking in her eye that I saw? Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? So this is pretty much a simple question, but I'm gonna throw it to my guests again. what do y'all think is going on in this situation?
I have two different scenarios to it. I think that it's like the puppet master losing control of the puppets, and then she's like, "Oh wait, hold on, wait, I'm putting on a show. I got to put everybody back in order."
Mm-hmm.
Or Wanda has gotten to the point where she doesn't realize her own power levels yet, and she's like, "Oh wait, okay, hold on, what's going on?" Like she's even oblivious to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. She doesn't know her full capabilities yet, and then she's trying to figure them out as time goes on. And I'm noticing, and we're probably going to talk about it later, she's starting to figure out that she's really the biggest or strongest person within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She's starting to figure it out real quickly, and that's scary.
That's dangerous. I agree 100%. It's scary because, like, you know, we'll talk about the next scene in just a second, but what about you? What you think?
I'm on the same theory of her powers are getting stronger, and she's really giving me Jean Grey Phoenix vibes to the point where you know when
I like that.
It's that same scenario when Jean starts realizing that the Phoenix power is getting stronger and stronger, and then it's kind of starting to warp with her brain, like warp her mind, because now she can't differentiate like what's real, what's not.
Mm. And
for all of us who know work, you know, our comic book stuff, we all know that, you know, she's an Omega class mutant, technically.
Yeah, she's Omega level mutant. Yeah,
she's Omega level. Mm-hmm. As we start watching it and we start seeing the things with her, like, all right, so for perfect example, episode 2, when my man comes crawling out of the sewer and he was in the beehive suit.
Mm.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. And then it just completely like it just cuts off, and then he never showed up out of the middle of the street.
That was
and then he's changing things. Like as she's like the whole thing you just said, like Vision misstepping, he misspoke, and then, like it did like that quick shift.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
I hate to say it this way because I'm kind of taking like a Team 4-Star reference here,
Yeah.
but our Magneto's starting to show.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. And there's so much to go. There's way more than the Beast suit that just goes into that. You know, a lot of people think it's Swarm and stuff as a villain, but it's like, yeah, I mean, that may seem cool, but it could make sense. But at the same time, there's something way deeper than that. And we don't know what it is, but I see exactly what you're saying. What about you, Trey? Like, what do you think with this whole situation? It's just crazy how these Marvel movies like connect also to what we're seeing right now. Like, I just went back, you know, and just watched Ultron, and like, there's some certain words that are being said between Pietro and Wanda, like saying, "Oh yeah, well, I'll see you next time." Like simple stuff like that, but it wasn't necessarily like sought out like that. But they clearly like stated that. So we'll talk about that towards the end. But Trey, I wanted to ask you the same thing. Like with this whole like, what do you think's going on with this situation with Vision and Wanda and that misstep?
You know, it's very weird. I'm not too sure. I think that, you know, because they kind of start to talk about it, and Wanda, like Vision, Wanda can't control Vision, is what I'm trying to say. And he's just kind of sort of now becoming aware that Wanda is controlling all these people, or she has the biggest influence on controlling these people. You know, who's to say if she's controlling everybody? But he's starting to see that, and it's kind of starting to like freak him out, because, you know, we get into a later part where he's like, I don't remember anything, what's going on? And then that's where you kind of know that he's like catching on, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going with that. I like it. What about you, RJ? What do you think is going on with this like whole misstep?
I kind of feel like it's sort of like a glitch in the Matrix without her kind of realizing that it's a glitch in her Matrix that she created in her reality. I feel like I'm seeing what Jean's talking about, where she knows she's powerful, but I don't think she's catching on to how powerful she is, because even when her kids are telling her that, hey, you can. I just don't like those twins, man. I don't like those twins. When the twins are saying, like, when the dog had died, they said, "You can bring him back, Mom. You can bring him back." She's like, What? I can?
What?
You know, you're like, what?
Me?
And you know, I don't think she realizes that even the things that she's creating, she's turning them into reality. And I don't think she realizes just how powerful she is yet. Because if she knew how powerful she was, she would have brought the dog back. You know, we're going to see her powers escalate, but I don't think she kind of understands the depths of her power just yet. And Shayna made a good point. I was looking down. She don't have no control over it. She need to beat him. She need to beat him.
I mean,
To the chocolate. Like,
She's fully capable. She's fully capable.
I'm not the only one who's getting the Children of the Corn vibes, right? Like off of these two kids.
Exactly. Thank you, Hank.
Yeah,
This is why
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm also, you know what the thing is though? They kind of gave her an idea because that one little statement plays into what we're gonna end up getting to, and I'm just like, come on, man, y'all gave her way too many ideas now.
Yeah, but the idea of her not realizing how strong she is, I have a counter argument to it. Because when everyone's outside of her bubble that she's created, after they sent the drone in, and when that Richard of a director said, you know, to fire the missile, what happens after that? Everyone goes storming outside. Everyone's got guns locked on the bubble. What ends up happening? Wanda's coming out of the bubble, holding the drone in hand, and she tosses it like it's a damn frisbee. No problem. And we all know those type of military drones are super heavy.
Mm-hmm.
She takes it and she tosses it like it's a frisbee, like, oh, here's your toy back. Here you go.
Gerald just brought up something interesting in the comments. I'm like, yo, I just thought about that now. Like, oh, wow.
Okay, Gerald. Okay, we'll see you.
Okay. It was.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
But to go back to it, she does realize how strong she is. Because when all the guns were locked on her, just with a flick of her wrist, because she literally just did this, she had all guns pointed at the director.
I was hoping they fired, honestly.
Her finger twist, right? I'm so glad the Russo said stop doing what we didn't told you to do. Yeah. We didn't told her to do this. Now it's just like,
oh yeah, the jazz hands.
Yeah, the jazz
fingers.
Flick of the wrist.
Look at the flick of the
wrist. Oh man. No, I think there's so many theories and things we could say. Like we're gonna dive into that towards the end. But I think that was a great thing to segue into what we're actually going to talk about was that scene where she actually came out of the reality and we saw Wanda, like the Wanda that we saw in Age of Ultron, that we saw in Endgame, and it was exciting to see her, right? Like it was so exciting to see her kind of return to Wanda. And guess what? The accent's back. What the hell? So I wanted to ask RJ first, because I know he's excited about this. I want to ask RJ first. Okay, what's up with Wanda's accent? Why is it changed from reality to the real world?
I have no idea why her accent is back, and I can't wait to hear Hec and Wade talk about it, because and we talked about this, about how y'all know how I feel about continuity, and it always bothered me that she went from this accent to just like, I'm an American, blah blah blah, perfect English, no accent, no trace of that. But then I have to think like, all right, so I was born and raised in New York, but I don't really have a heavy New York accent. However, if you push the right buttons, my accent does come back. Mm-hmm. So maybe they pushed the right button. She was like, yo, what's good? And then it probably came back. So that's my theory. Maybe it was like she's responding to a stressful environment, and the accent she's going to help, but bring it back out like, yo, it's a wrap. Like, what's up? Like, what's good? She pulled up on him. Like, she walked out through the portal and was ready to throw hands. So maybe it's something to where, she turns her accent on and off, depending upon how she feels. That's what I get up. That's what I get out of it.
No, I mean, I
said he liked the jazz hands.
Spirit fingers.
But yeah, no, same thing. I'm gonna pass this one to y'all two first. So Same thing. Like, what do you think is up with this accent? Why has it changed from the reality to the real world?
I'm gonna go with she has it's a weird Superman power thing with the power of perception. Maybe she's had the accent all along, and to them or to us, it's how she wants us to be portrayed. And then when she gets in, like you said, like a stressful situation, it comes out. It's like, what's good? But I'm gonna try to blend in, which is what she was trying to do, whatever movie we saw her in, try to blend in so she wouldn't be noticed and be off the radar. But now that she's on the radar, exactly, she's playing a role.
She's playing a role. Yeah,
she's been acting this whole entire time.
Yeah, okay.
I really feel like it's that whole situation setup. So
I forgot about it. Civil War.
It's a whole situation. So the best example I can give you is like professional, and then like when you're in a professional environment. Well, we're going to talk very articulated, and we're going to speak clearly, and we're going to enunciate every single syllable. The moment you're out of the office, what's good?
Code switch. Yep. Code switch.
Now you want to act up. Now you want to act like you know. Now I'm about to put my boot in your ass. That's what's going to happen. She basically went from she went prim and proper to straight New Yorican. She went straight hood.
Ultimate code.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we cool in the office right now, but hey, we in the parking lot, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait till I clock out. Clock out.
Like she had on the what is it, like the Sunday's best when she was inside the bubble. And the moment she saw the drone coming, she's like, all right, hold up. I'm getting my Timbs. I'm getting my New York snapback. I'm stepping outside.
Wasn't she in her endgame gear when she came out the bubble? She was in her endgame gear. She wasn't playing.
No, she was on the street. I'm about to whoop Thanos.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to handle it. I'm about to handle it.
That's what came across as,
Yeah, she definitely opened that can up, man. She don't play. That's what I'm saying. She's so strong, as we were talking about. Yeah. She's too powerful, man. I mean, there's other people that are powerful, but she's Omega.
I love not the single soul either. She came out with the street double soul.
She was ready.
She had the butters on.
She had the butters.
She had the butters.
She had the butters on.
She was ready.
The butters. Oh man, my man Trey. What's up with Wanda's accent? What do you think? Like, why has it changed from reality to the real?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna agree with everyone. She's just acting. She's playing a role. She's the person you see that she's right before you go and listen to your most gangster music, and you see someone walk by, and then they walk by. You know, like she's just playing a role, and then when she gets tried like she did, she brings the gangster out.
She was definitely rocking the endgame gear for the final battle.
Straight up.
Oh, she washed it. It's been a long time. So she have it like hanging up somewhere, just ready to put on again.
Didn't they say it was a timeline of when this happened, which we're going to talk about? Because they said it was like how much time frame right after Endgame?
3 years.
Like 3? No.
Yeah.
When she did what she did. What was it, like 3 weeks?
Yeah, I have to go back and look.
It was 3 weeks.
3 weeks after Endgame, the events of
Endgame. That
she didn't change. Because she was mad. She was depressed. She kept it on. Ain't no way. Yeah.
I got a theory for y'all. I got a theory for y'all. Hey, I got a big theory for y'all for y'all, but we'll say that. But it's just there's too much, y'all. There's too much. I know we can talk about this for days. It's just right now what we're seeing is like is evolution in the show and evolution in the characters itself. Because in one scene we saw where they started off with babies.
She got a bunch of the same outfits hanging up in the closet like Doug from Nickelodeon. It's just the same outfit on the hair.
all white shirts, all white shirts.
Yo, RJ, she had her Angela Bassett waiting to exhale outfit. That's her waiting to set the car on fire.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Oh man, yeah, that was the deleted scene from
game. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, but it's fun.
Right.
There's too many theories, man. Oh, like this.
There's so many
Simpsons.
theories,
Hey, Simpsons predicts everything. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's true.
But as we see the evolution in this show, we saw how everyone's aging and the characters develop. So the scene where we saw the babies, and they evolved. Thomas and Bobby are the names, and obviously we'll talk about the end with more theories and the characters. They evolved into, I guess, like, about 7, 8 year olds. We don't really know, but they're not the age of 10. We'll talk about it in a second. But I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about this. So Vision keeps bringing up that who's controlling you? Who are you doing this to? Because in the scene before this as well, Vision is going to work and he's talking to the guy, one of his employees, and we see him just doing the regular, hey, I'm going to my job, honey, 9 to 5, yeah, type of thing. And then like a moment where Vision's trying to figure things out, and we see how there's a quick kind of change, and the change is that Vision's like, okay, hold on a second, just hold your head still. He grabs his head, and then he says, whoa, where am I? What's going on? He's like, I don't know. He's like, he's asking you, what's going on? And the guy responds basically saying, you have to stop her. And he's like, how to stop who? And then just things get out of hand, and he goes back to normal because Vision sets him back because he just doesn't want to mess up whatever's going on, right? So this is really interesting because we see a off switch. And Vision later brings up, going back to what I was talking about, is the fact that he asked Wanda, who's doing this to you? Who's controlling you? Because he knows that something's not right. He said, Wanda, you know this is wrong. Whatever you're doing, this is wrong. This is not okay. Trey, who do you think is controlling Wanda?
It's a very good question. First of all, I also want to add, did they see that dude's freak out outside of the hex? Because I just thought of that just now, because it happens in Vision scene, but did they see that outside of the hex on their TVs? That could be very interesting.
Well, also, I don't think they did though. I don't think they did. Remember, because they said we only see what Wanda wants us to see.
That's right.
Yeah, so they might not have seen it because of that.
I think
but then
when that whole thing was going on, it was when that whole scene was going on inside the office, we were seeing the scene, everyone was seeing the scene on the TV of Wanda talking to the kids. When they were asking, why isn't Daddy home? And she goes, well, Daddy had to go to work, and because Mommy and Daddy were on the same page, and that, the whole BS live routine that you tell kids, oh no, me and your father aren't arguing, bullshit, we're arguing.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So we got to see the wholesome mommy role picture while Vision was trying to figure out who's controlling and what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually, yeah. But
that does
to answer your question, I don't really know. I think that probably something like Mephisto. That's all the theories are pointing to. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Also, when Wanda goes back into the hex, I could be tripping, but I thought I saw a face in the hex, so I was like, "Is that Mephisto? What is that?" So I think that Mephisto might not be controlling her, but definitely has an impact on her decisions. Yeah.
Okay. I like that a lot. That's a good theory. You got me thinking over your Trey.
Yeah, really too. I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, hold on. I had to pause for a second. I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
But no,
I hit y'all with that, man.
Yeah, you did hit me with that. I was like, yeah. to you, Hec and Wade. So, same thing. Who do you think is controlling Wanda?
The Mephisto theories really add up. It's just we don't know Mephisto's true form yet. And I'm gonna say this now. Marvel likes to play this little game with us where we think it's gonna be, because we all know Mephisto is supposed to be a guy or a male. What if it's a female? What if it's a female? And plus, every time something really weird has gone on, have you noticed there's been animals in effect?
Yeah.
So I think low-key, Mephisto's been in the background as in the swan or the dog or the bird that was
Finish and I'll tell you.
And then it's just, you know what? When they were talking about the she thing, we don't know if she was talking about Wanda. She could be Mephisto, so she could be the main one pulling the strings, not Wanda. So a puppet master to another puppet master.
Okay, I like that. Rogan Eric said the Beyonder, so we will talk about more theories at the end, but I do see why he says the Beyonder, because that's very interesting. We'll get into that towards the end. But my man RJ, who do you think is controlling Wanda?
Similar to what Gene said, I think the theories add up. They're all pointing to one person, Festo. So I gotta go with that. To me, that just makes the most sense. I don't think Marvel has too much respect for their fans to kind of throw us that kind of a curveball and it not be, who we all think it is. So I feel like that's probably the right answer. I feel like we're spot on with that.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree. So as we get towards the end of this episode, we won't elaborate too much on it, but like the whole situation with the dog and the kids aging again. So my theory is that at the age of 10, June 2nd, June 2nd, I think it's the Salem witch trials, and the kids are not supposed to reach past a certain age for like some witch trial aspect, or else you're considered a demon or something like that. So I think Wanda doesn't want them to age up because of something that she knows that might happen with maybe Mephisto or something else. But I wanted to ask you guys this last question before we get into some more theories at the end. I'm gonna throw it to you two again. What do you think about this last scene with the dog? Like, what do you think this means, and what do you think what Wanda is saying? Or why do you think that she not want to age up these kids?
The whole kid's not aging up because I think it's not her trying to play like the mommy role. It's not about her not wanting to miss things. She feels like if the kids are going to start aging up again, it's a control issue. She's starting to lose control of what's happening around her. So we already have one thing falling out of sync, that she's having issues with Vision because Vision's starting to become aware of what's going on. Then you have, the FBI and Sword now. They're trying to infiltrate and trying to start something. She can't control what's going outside of the bubble. Then she comes back in after confronting them. Now the puppy is dead. So now she's starting to see that she's starting to lose grip on certain things in her self-made reality. If the kids age up again against her will, now she knows that she's losing it. And now it's beyond her control.
Oh.
Okay.
Remember when she tried to use her magic before and it wouldn't work on the babies? Like she tried to do in this episode and last episode, she can't control them. And so what I think, her trying to get them to not age up, because let's face it, like it's even in reality, as your kids get older, they will not listen to you at a certain point. It's like you don't have enough badges to train me anymore. Like I'm going to do what I want to do. So I feel like another reason why she's kind of, trying to jump on the, stay where you're at train is because, she already doesn't have control over everything else going on. So she doesn't want to lose control of her children. So that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the common sense answer. Yeah. That
Yep.
Yeah, she had to yell at them at that one point and was like, stop, don't do it. Don't you grow up, stop. She had to forcefully put it out there, and that's the one time Wanda lost control. But I want to bring up another theory. Do you think since when she escaped and left to go bring back the drone and everything, she may have interacted with in the real world is screwing up again in her world, or it's messing up her bubble? Like when you get a cold, when you get a virus, you're bringing back whatever you messed with. So maybe when she interacted in the world,
she caused the glitch.
And everything will fall in on itself.
I like that. Interesting. I like that. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, okay, wait a minute. You got me. The wheels are turning now. Okay.
Yeah, wheels is definitely turning because I mean that's another thing. And just to back up off that before I ask Trey this, I think another thing to go along with that, I see why people are saying it's Mephisto because if you notice in the scene when Agnes, I'm gonna call her Agatha, but when she was taking care of the babies, just like exercising on the ball and stuff. I mean, exercising and all that with the kids in the bed. She was spraying like something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like some like kind of powder. So what I mean with this is that I think that she's maybe like trying to protect the children from something that could be demonic because when you walk into a house, you're like, oh yeah, there's some demons in here. Oh hell no, we about to.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
First Crusade.
Yeah. I call it the Amityville vibe.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
You walk in the house and it's like, up, that's my time to go.
No, I think the glitch started when she came back in. That's when I think they started when she came back in.
The glitch thing came back in the first episode because remember when they were at the table and either he was choking on a steak or something like that.
Right.
I forgot what happened, but that's when the first glitch came. So, and Marvel's really good at this, planting these little seeds. And the glitches are going to continue. I think, like what you said, it's going to get worse and worse and worse because whatever she's doing, she brought something back. So I agree with that. But the glitches started in episode 1. We just we didn't know they were. I don't think we knew they were glitches or whatever you want to call them yet.
Right. I kind of want to pick back off a hero, if you don't mind, really quick.
Oh, go ahead.
You were saying Agnes was trying to protect the kids. Right?
When
she was doing her whole like jazzercise routine and then she was kind of spraying that mist. I have a theory. I want to see if you guys are following me on this one. What if Agnes is Mephisto?
That would be a swerve. That's an ultimate swerve.
So here's the reason why I'm saying it. Do you remember the scene when the kids got really quiet? Apparently, the kids were gone. They were super quiet. And then they happened to be in the kitchen with Agnes. And then they had already aged up. Now, anyone else who would have been in that situation, they would have been like, wait, what the hell just happened to the kids? Agnes turns around and says, you know what happens? You blink your eye, and kids will be kids. They'll just grow up right past you. They'll grow up right in front of your eyes. Agnes is the only one who's kind of been like self-aware of what's going on, and she kind of knows what's going on with everything. The only time she wasn't fully comprehending what was going on was when the puppy died. And when the kid said, oh, mommy, you can bring him back from the dead. And then Agnes looked at Wanda and goes, wait a minute, you can do that? She knows what's going on.
That. Yeah, I feel like she knows that.
I got a really sinking suspicion that if we're going with the Mephisto theory, Agnes is the one who's there because she's been there for every situation, and she's kind of like that annoying ass neighbor that you can't get rid of.
She's always in the shit, though.
She's very conveniently placed.
Right.
Very conveniently placed when stuff is about to go down.
To also piggyback off that, she's the one that always pops up. So maybe it's Mephisto like checking in, being like what's going on? What's happening over here?
Mephisto is demonic Kramer.
Sorry, the reference.
No, I got it. Mephisto is Waldo from Family Matters. Pops up at every opportunity, and you never want him in the damn house.
He's jacked. He's jacked.
Blurred Up has a good theory. Maybe Agatha is a servant of Mephisto. Maybe she's been ordered to satellite Wanda to kind of keep an eye on her.
Yeah, and I agree with that because let's just get into theories now. Because here's the thing. I actually wanted to back up a big Hec and Wade theories. So the reason I'm saying I personally don't think it's Mephisto because I was watching Doctor Strange and the first one a couple of days ago, and they were talking about how the chosen one or the one was drawing power from the dark dimension. So in order to draw power from the dark dimension, whatever comes through that portal needs a host. So I don't think it's Mephisto. So hear me out on this. I think what's happening is that when Doctor Strange fought Dormammu, he kept reversing time, right? So I think what's going on is that Dormammu was not killed or defeated. He's just off and back in the dimension. So I think what's going on is that maybe Agatha might be Mephisto, but I think Dormammu is trying to find a host, which could be Agnes, or it could be somebody else, but it could be Agnes to get into the dimension of Earth because he's a demon. You can't just always just walk in. You can't just walk in from hell, So I think that it's Dormammu trying to come back and somehow find a host to destroy the multiverse or whatever it is. What do y'all think?
That's an interesting theory.
That's a very interesting theory.
I didn't play into the whole Dormammu thing only because every time I've seen Dormammu mentioned in the comic, he's obviously like this, like cosmic. I call him like a cosmic Ghost Rider type of feel. Like that's what he kind of looks like to me.
Right.
He looks like a cosmic Ghost Rider. So when we saw him in the first Doctor Strange film, I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Like, I don't get it. Maybe this is his true form. Okay, cool, whatever. I'm just gonna go past this because I actually like the movie. This is actually pretty entertaining. Then when we started hearing the whole thing with Mephisto, I'm sitting there going, I'm like, damn, well, that kind of makes sense too. It could be Mephisto. I don't want to abandon the whole theory of this is just all Wanda. Because and I always go back to the Phoenix theory. When she lost all control of her powers, all hell broke loose. I feel like we're getting to see Wanda. She's starting to hit the maximum of her Omega power,
right?
And she's starting to warp reality. Her reality that she created. So now at this point, it's just all hell's gonna start breaking loose.
I agree.
And it could be that.
I'm also thinking we're forgetting the main Doctor Strange 2. Maybe I'm like blanking out here, but has the villain been announced for that movie? Like the main person they're gonna be going up against in that movie?
They keep.
I don't think so.
People keep saying it's
Nightmare or something like that.
People keep saying it's Nightmare, but again, we don't even know. I think Spider-Man is going to dictate that. I don't know.
And if it is Dormammu, Benedict Cumberbatch is getting a nice check because he's Dormammu. He's Dormammu.
Yeah.
So he's getting a nice check off of that. But you know what? We're just gonna have to see what happens. It feels like it's a twist with everything whenever Agnes is around. And then the whole, what was it? There was another scene with the kids, right? And like you said, she was like, you can do that? Like, she was surprised by everything because the more evil, the more a villain knows what a hero can do, they're going to try to twist it and warp it to work it where I can do this now. Oh, you can bring people back from the dead. I got ideas now. I'm going to play with this. So we got to see really where Agnes is at. And where's Herb been? He's another one who's been like, he knows what's going on kind of sort of too.
Yeah, where's
he been at?
And what's up with him cutting through the brick wall? Like, yo, my man, you just ruined my wall from my garden. Like, you're going to have to fix that now. I don't care if this is fake. Like, damage my property.
Oh, there's a hidden message behind it. You didn't catch it?
Yeah, he was breaking.
He's breaking the wall.
Yeah, he's breaking down the barrier.
He's breaking down the fourth wall.
Fourth wall. Yeah, I think we had that theory last episode. We was breaking down the wall. Yeah, for sure.
2 villains. Okay, we just looked it up. It's 2 villains who have been announced for for Doctor Strange 2.
Okay.
You know, yeah, we're forgetting
Mordo.
We're forgetting about Mordo.
Yeah, Baron Mordo. Yeah, because he
Yeah.
at the end in the comics, he does betray Doctor Strange, and he does end up doing like stuff for dirty work for Dormammu and stuff. But again, I mean, like I said, it might not be Dormammu. It could be Mephisto. I'm not going to knock that theory, but I'm just adding another mix. I mean, it could happen again.
Or Nightmare.
Because Nightmare's confirmed for Doctor Strange too.
If it's Nightmare, then I think that's going to be dope because that's a new way to introduce a villain and just and open up even more of the multiverse. So,
and we can't forget Feige went on record saying for Phase 2 for the new set, we're expanding this universe and we're going to be blowing it up. We're going to start bringing in characters and we're going to start bringing in new things that normally wouldn't get the shine and they wouldn't get the time of day. So we have to all start thinking like we got to start hitting like the catalog. You know what I mean?
Yep. Because they're going to go deep. They're going
to start going deep.
And there's the rumor who might play Nightmare. And if that's the case, I'm even hyped more because it ties into a little bit of my love for horror. There's rumors that Robert Englund might play Nightmare. There's big rumors about that.
Oh,
Big rumors about Robert Englund.
I ain't gonna lie, that's nice.
Because he did it on the animated series. He did it on Ultimate Spider-Man.
Exactly.
So they want to bring him in for that.
Okay.
But no, hey, we didn't even talk about Quicksilver. We did not even talk about that. How did I forget
that? Ties into my theory.
Yeah, because Trey wanted to talk about it. I completely forgot about it. I mean, we can still talk theories, but Trey, okay, what do you think this means? Like, I'm just gonna ask you because I may have a question.
Man, so I just finished watching a X-Men marathon, and when I saw the silver hair, I was like, "Oh, Quicksilver's back!" But then they went to his face. I was like, "Wait a minute, that's a different Quicksilver. That's X-Men," and it just kind of blew my mind. I was walking around like, "What is going on?" But I think that is their way of introducing mutants into the MCU, which I think is great. Which also kind of ties into my theory kind of before we were talking about kids, because I think maybe Wanda didn't want them to age up because maybe they'll start manifesting their mutant powers and she might know that they have some kind of mutant powers. She doesn't know yet what they are, so she didn't want that to happen. And yeah, I think that maybe if Agnes is Mephisto, she is trying to control the kids, get to the kids, and maybe there's also a mark at their age where Mephisto can like easily take them. And then I don't know, man. It's kind of just crazy. I was just pretty hyped to see the Quicksilver that's obviously more powerful than the Quicksilver we got in MCU.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
He can afford bullets.
And to answer her question,
so in other words,
to answer her question, Marvel does have the rights to. We have all the rights. We can do whatever we want. So,
right.
But go ahead, Trey. My bad.
I was gonna say I also wanted to point out that both Quicksilvers were in Kick-Ass. They were both in Kick-Ass, and I did.
Yes, they were. Both of them were.
Yes.
But I have an interesting theory. I mean, I don't want to cut anybody off from getting their opinion off, but
no, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. So we know they have the rights to Fox now, right? Mm-hmm. Who is a major actor that they got that has a movie coming out under the MCU finally? And now their movies are going to start hitting Disney Plus. Deadpool plays a huge part in this now too, because he's been breaking the fourth wall. He's been breaking the fourth wall with the MCU and Sony and everything since day one. So I feel since they signed him on, they're inserting little bits and details about it, because whenever a mutant was mentioned before they got the rights, they were just called what? Enhanced beings?
Enhanced, yeah.
Yeah, enhanced.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what Cat called them, enhanced.
So stupid. Metahuman.
Yeah, metahuman. Like it was a stupid name. But I just want to see now if and it's going to tie into what they said earlier, what Elizabeth Olsen kind of threw out there, that it's going to be a big cameo that's going to come up, that's going to blow everybody's mind from the one we already got. I got big theories on who it is, and it's really gonna shift everything within the Marvel universe, especially if they lock. I don't feel it's just one person. I feel it's two people.
I think they might do a couple, maybe.
Oh no! Oh, because her brother showed up.
Somebody have their father come in.
Somebody needs to come and check their kid a little bit.
Yeah, because Agnes in the comics was the babysitter, but Magneto is a huge image, and they actually talked about Wanda's parents and stuff in this episode. But so it's kind of like we might start seeing that open up. So I agree with that. And one thing that's interesting, this will fall into the Pietro casting, is just if you guys don't, I know how you feel about that, RJ.
I'm glad they did it though.
You said what?
I'm glad they did it because you know what? Not for nothing. You know how I feel about him. I can't stand him.
Really?
Everybody got mixed opinions about both, man. It's tough. I mean, I don't.
I liked him to an extent.
No. I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about the director.
Oh, Whedon.
Yeah.
That's
Whedon's. Yeah, so, we all have. We all feel a certain type of way about Whedon. We all feel a certain type of way.
Whedon I want to Schumacher.
Hey, he did Lost Boys. You better stop.
For the Batman films.
Oh, okay.
I have an issue with Schumacher for the Batman films, but that's neither here nor there. I can't stand Whedon because the whole fact that of him doing Ultron, he wanted a body. And that's why Quicksilver died.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Because it burns me up. And we've talked about this. It burns me up that's why I have not watched Age of Ultron again. It irritated me that you couldn't outrun a bullet? It just didn't make any sense. You're Quicksilver. And I don't know, it bothers me. It bothers me so much. I feel like that's the one thing in the MCU that is enough to just make me go like, ugh. You're Quicksilver. There's no reason why a bullet should have killed you.
Exactly.
I would have been better with it if he slipped on a banana peel. But you got killed by a bullet.
and it really makes sense about him dying in Ultron because when you watch Pietro in Days of Future Past, and then you watch him in Apocalypse, or it's Apocalypse or
Days of Future
Past. Oh,
and Dark Phoenix.
Okay, so in Apocalypse, when the mansion is blowing up,
Wanda creates Deadpool 3 in the MCU.
Think about the entire X-Men compound. He went through the whole compound before everything finished exploding, saved every single mutant that was in there, and saved Goldfish.
Yeah.
My man was so fast, he decided to take the fish bowl
and the pizza,
put them in there, have a slice of pizza, grab the dog, made a slip and slide out of bed sheets, and then threw everybody across the court.
Mm-hmm. And got a drink.
Yeah, thank you. So this is why I'm saying, like, and it pissed me off in a sense because Fox was like, we know how fast he can be, and normally Fox is the one who screws everything up. But then you let Whedon come in and do Ultron, and he's like, nah, you're not letting me kill who I want. Guess what? I'm getting a body then.
Yeah, because he was mad.
It bothered me so much because I personally enjoy Quicksilver in the MCU as opposed to the one in X-Men. I don't really like Evan Peters' portrayal of Quicksilver. To me, I don't know, it's something about his personality that just bothers me.
Is this your American Horror Story hatred coming out again?
No, because I like him in American Horror Story. I love him American Horror Story. I really do. But I just really don't like him as Quicksilver for some reason. He comes off too much as what the Flash's personality is supposed to be like. And I feel like Quicksilver, I just feel like a more serious Quicksilver is what I really enjoyed about the MCU Quicksilver, like the whole comedy, with Evan, I keep wanting to say Evan
Peters.
I keep wanting to say Evan Ross from
ATL?
ATL, yeah. And Evan Peters kind of his portrayal of Quicksilver just kind of bothers me. It's too comical for me. I feel like I didn't like that Quicksilver, so that's another reason why I was kind of irritated when he showed up, because I was okay with him not being when Alexander Shipp was like, oh, they're not going to recast Storm, and they announced they were recasting Storm, I was fine with that, and I was also fine with him not coming over to the MCU. And then when he came over, I was like, well, I said deal with that. So, not a
But
fan.
there's interesting theories about that too. I don't know if you guys have seen the theories. They're like, maybe Evan Peters isn't who we think he's supposed to be, and this is a decoy to throw us off, because there are also rumors going around that Age of Ultron Quicksilver is going to be in the Doctor Strange movie.
Thank you, Brogy. That's what I was saying. That's what I was trying to get
That's another theory that I've heard a lot, and I'm like, By the way, can we please comment on Pietro looking like Uncle Jesse from Full House? That whole gear. He looked like Uncle Jesse coming in, like doing the finger point. Like, dude, come on now. Like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at me like this?
I think between WandaVision and then once we get into the Multiverse of Madness, we kind of have to go in with this one thought process, and it's right in the title line: multiverse theory.
So we could have more than one Quicks.
We have to.
I got a theory for you. I got a big theory for the both of you too. I talked to Trey and RJ about this just a little bit, but I didn't elaborate on it too much. So, if you guys watch these movies, especially like movies like the Ant-Man movies, if you watch Age of Ultron, and I think it may have been the first Avengers or something like that, but maybe Captain America. But those main three, Ant-Man and Age of Ultron, because I don't know if you guys noticed what Wanda and Vision have always said to each other in these films, and a little bit in Infinity War and Endgame too. The word time. There's no time, Wanda. There's no time, Vision. I think people are missing out on this because you two might see where I'm going with this. It's the fact that this word is being placed where people don't really are kind of just like blowing it off and seeing it as time is a part of the story. We're going back in time through Avengers and all that, and the Infinity Stones messing. No, that's not it. No, what is it? In my theory is that somehow in this space world that we're in, this multiverse also, time can change on the astral plane and all that. We saw that in Doctor Strange, right? Yeah. I think what's going on that the astral plane can't control some things to a certain aspect. So I think what's happening is that we might end up seeing Kang the Conqueror really soon, because the word time is being used over and over and over and over. And I know it doesn't seem that cliche at the moment, or it may not make sense, but I think that when you talk about cosmic energy and time, getting time messed up, if you go back to the comics, Kang the Conqueror was always trying to change time, even like what was happening, even if Thanos had the Infinity Stones. So I want to ask you guys, like, what are your thoughts on that? Anybody? I'm gonna
take from Blurred Up. Multiverse is ripping apart. Everything is going out of whack now. And now with maybe Doctor Strange 2, this will be the glue that brings everything back together, because we've been talking about every single Marvel movie that's coming out after, because now with Spider-Man 3, that plays a part too, because the multiverses are crossing over again. So we don't know who's what, when ends up who ends up where. Have you gone through the casting for that Spider-Man movie? Think about it. They're pulling from so many different elements. They're not even pulling just from Spider-Man's universe. They're pulling from the Netflix series.
I know, and that's crazy because it's not even a real universe.
Today, somebody else is in the movie, but was announced for Spider-Man 3. And it blew my mind to find out he's in it now. We haven't seen him in any of the Spider-Man movies as of late, but Willem Dafoe was just announced as he's in Spider-Man 3 now. So now you're definitely messing with the multiverse, and things are changing.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, Alfred Molina was spotted. Like everybody knows. And now Love and Thunder too. Love and Thunder's got something to do with this now too, because now we're playing with different time streams, and all the shows are starting to blend together.
Darcy.
We're figuring things out because look at Loki now. That's another timeline messed with because he got the Infinity Stone and got away. And if you look at his show and the trailer that we got, it's different eras. So maybe whatever he's doing is affecting what's happening now too. Because everything is 2023, right?
Yeah.
Marvel is winning this continuity, man. Like this linking everything together. Whoever, you have to think. Somebody had to pitch. This didn't just fall into place. Somebody had to pitch this. Whoever pitched this Marvel Cinematic Universe and linking every single thing together from every movie to TV shows, genius, because they changed the game. There's never been anything like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ever.
Nothing. Yeah,
Ever.
that's the thing too. Like, what's the crazy thing about that too is that I think that I heard a rumor about this article and I actually read about it a little bit. They're saying that this is on comicbook.com and everything, that these old Fox movies that we saw, X-Men, just anything, all those old Fox movies, they're not really the real thing. They're kind of like mess around movies. So I think that like everyone is saying that, like, I agree, we're pulling from the multiverse, but what is this going to lead to? That's the hard part, because Marvel, like, I agree with Big Hec and Wade. They like to play games with us. They like to make this thing one thing, but it's this other thing that's going on. So again, we don't even know. I think it's crazy.
Eternals is a prequel, so that's Eternals establishes the Marvel universe. So that's like before even Phase 1 took place, from what I've gathered. And you know what other movie Heck just brought it to my attention? We're forgetting about Shang-Chi.
I was talking about that the other day.
And the Mandarin now.
Because aren't the 10 rings that the Mandarin has, aren't they on the same level or close to the level of like what the Infinity Stones are?
It's more powerful than the Tesseract. WBDC.
I love
they don't know what that is. Wonder Woman could fly in 1984 apparently, and she must have forgotten during Justice League when they had to escape. She had to jump onto the Batmobile to pull herself up.
That's weird.
Steve Trevor can just fly planes out of nowhere.
Yeah. She just learned what ice cream tastes like. She just figured out that ice cream is new to her now. She didn't know her laptop could connect to lightning. She can get places.
I'm weak, bro.
Wonder Woman is still a good movie.
All right, that comment there, that just won the entire show.
I'm
commenting the night.
End the show right now. That comment alone, bravo.
Bravo. Well done. Tip of the hat to you, sir.
Tip of the hat.
Tip of the hat.
Wow. Oh man. I think I mean I only have too much else to say. I mean, I know we're going to talk about a bunch of theories at the end, so we'll say that for the other show. But I really think it's gonna.
What's the last episode? Is this next week the last week?
No, we got 9 episodes.
I think like
March.
9.
March.
9 episodes.
9. Okay, 9. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought
so
we
in
only
for a
had
treat.
6. So
I was scared. Yeah.
That last episode is gonna blow people away. It's gonna blow people away.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait. Big Hec, Wade. Y'all are great, man. I know we talk all the time, through social media and stuff, but it was just even more fun to bring y'all on the show. You guys had a lot of information to say, and I think you enjoyed this as much as we did, and you're going to continue enjoying this as much. And we're going to start throwing out our theories again, and it was just a fun time having you guys on the show. You guys are great. If you want to go ahead and once again throw down your social media threads so everybody can follow you and let people know where you at.
Okay, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our Facebook is Big Hec and Wade Adventures. Our Instagram is Big Hec Wade Adventures. Our Twitter is BigHecWadeAdv. If you want to listen to us, and we would love to have you guys on for a podcast episode, we are available on all podcast streaming platforms under the Fourth Wall Pop Network, where we like to hashtag
make it pop.
That's about it.
Smooth. Huh? Hey, you guys been practicing that. I like that.
Yes, we have.
It's smooth transition.
Smooth.
Yes.
Smooth. I like it. I
Smooth.
like it. Trey, what you got
Lavish.
for us?
It's lavish. It's lavish. We like to speak of the
Lavish.
lavishness in the show.
We like to have a little lavish. You guys can follow me at maximum_spider on Instagram. That's maximum_SPIDAH. On TikTok, Spider Boy Trey. That's Spider Boy with 2 eyes because I had to be different. You can follow me on Facebook, Trey Mosley. Yeah, follow us on anything.
My man RJ, what you got for us?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at Avatar Rating. It's a brain thing. Yeah, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Avatar Rating. Instagram, Twitter, and that's pretty much it. Cool.
Same thing. You can follow us for the Blurred Shirt. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at For the Blurred Shirt and the Silver Site. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well at Hero Harrison Talk. But other than that, I ain't got much to say else, y'all. Y'all been great. It was fun. I hope we get to do this again. And I cannot wait to the last episode. I know we got other episodes, but I'm telling you, I cannot wait to that last episode. Big Heck.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be a great time. Definitely, look forward to having you guys back on the show. It was a lot of fun breaking down this episode with you. With that being said, thank everyone for tuning in. If you have not liked this video, go ahead and like this video so we can go ahead and defeat the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you share this video with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe, because we have goals that we're trying to get to and we need your help. We're currently at 190 something subscribers and we're trying to reach 200. So if you could help us out by smashing that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so that way you don't miss out on all the episodes that we post and all the content that we are working on to bring to you. With that being said, everyone have a great evening, and remember, Blur is Bond.
Blurred is Bond.